What is up, everybody? It's your boy, the talented Mr. Taco, coming back from a long absence over here on our channels. Very sorry that you haven't seen me for a while. I've been out doing some other recordings and some other things, but it's about time I get back into the seat and start doing the things that I love to do, and that's drafts and talking sports and having fun. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna do a dinger draft. I'm gonna do it live for you guys right here. We're gonna pop in 2 seconds, wait for the lobby to fill up and get it going. I'm gonna go over some of the stats and the scoring and what everything looks like, so this way we can get a feel for it. But before all that starts, I wanna kick it off with a old school intro, baby. Let's go.
Hey, David and Taco, they bring that heat. All about UFC, way more than a fantasy. Let's see who going toe to toe. Throw down on the mat, check the replay, run it back. We gotta check the stats. Hey, do this every day. We ain't come to play. This is sports talk, and we love talking MMA. Everything fantasy sports. Dopest show that I know. With Electric Dave and talented Mr. Taco. Let's go. Hey, G.
Man, this is like old stuff. I haven't been back in the saddle for a while, so please excuse me if some of the things look a little dated, but we're coming back. Things will be fixed. You're gonna see me a lot more regularly, but let's figure this out. We're one person in here. If nothing fills up in here in a relatively short time, I'm gonna do like a mock draft on Fantasy Pros, just so that we get some content and some reps in here. I got a couple other drafts coming up this next couple of days, and I want to get ready for it. And I think this is a good way to get ready for our drafts. Now the question is, how many people are going to come in? It says waiting for 8 people, so it doesn't look like 8 people, but we'll see. Now, this is my first time playing in this underdog settings. Now, I did have some experience playing in the Underdog Fantasy Football Challenge that they had. I think it was BB4, Million Maker 4. That was pretty good. I had a couple entries that went far, a lot of entries that didn't go good. We had a lot of injuries that happened near the end, but it was an interesting setup, which is why I'm willing to play the baseball. I like that it's a best ball format because I don't really have to look at this. I can just kind of go back, check it out, see where we're at, and I find that to be very appealing, especially in baseball, because it's just so long. Like, that's the one thing about fantasy baseball that I do not like, is that this thing is about half the year, more than half the year. This, in order to be really good in fantasy baseball, you need to grind. You have to be a grinder. This is for the originals. This is for the OGs. These are for the people that have been playing since day one. This isn't for those people that like to just sit down and play a little bit, and like, that's what fantasy football is. Like, you play on Sunday, the rest of the week you can live your life, and then maybe you check it on the waiver wire. No, with fantasy baseball, in most leagues, it's daily transactions, and you're looking to make moves. And for me, at least, I mainly play head-to-head leagues, so it adds a different level, I would say, of interaction that's needed, because each week is almost its own week, and each player may be needing a different thing, because you might have a guy hurt this week and you're gonna need to go for steals, or you might be in certain situations where you're facing a guy that's really good in pitching and you're good in pitching, and you're like, well, the only way I'm gonna beat this guy is to get him in Ks, and for me to get him in Ks, I'm gonna have to stream some pitchers, and then that becomes a battle of using your pickups. And then in some of the leagues that I play in, because I'm so much of a streamer in these instances where I know that I can overtake, maybe like, hey, I may give up ERA and whip, but I'll beat you in Ks and wins, because I'll overload you during the week, and then it comes down to a battle of bats. And in most cases, if you have a good ERA and whip, you probably spend a little bit more on your pitchers than I did, and then I'm getting better hitters, and philosophy usually comes to play out a lot in these leagues, because especially in head-to-head baseball leagues, it's a very strategic, it's the most strategic fantasy sports setting that you can actually have. So this is actually going to be very interesting, that we're going to do a points best ball. It's like the complete opposite of what I normally play, but I think a lot of the principles still stand. You want to get the best players available. But now the questions that we really need to discuss is, what do the scoring settings look like, so this way we can maximize the output? All right. Oof. I think I like it dark better, but It's a bit weird that I can't see the scoring settings. Okay, right off the bat, that's one thing I don't like about. I mean, it says we're waiting for 2 people to get into this draft, but it looks like none of them are filled, and I can't see any of the scoring settings. So I find that to be a little bit frustrating. Although I was able to see them on before we came in, and I did note some of them inside the description and the comments. If you're on YouTube or if you're on Facebook, if you're on X, thank you for checking us out, TDS Taco. If you're on Facebook and you're on YouTube, you're seeing us probably for the first time in a long time. The X community I'm a lot more active. I'm a lot more talkative over there because it's a lot more quick hitters. I haven't had the time to sit down and really just get in the chair and pick up the mic and have some fun. But it says we have 2 more players available. Hopefully we get a good pick here. The grand prizes seem like they're pretty cool. I think it was like 10,000 a first place or something like that. I'm with it. The competition is going to be fierce because how it works, it seems like it's going to work very similar to the way it did for the other for the football. So you're going to have basically a 12-man league. You're going to go through a certain portion of the season. Then the top 2 teams will move on, and then one another group of 12, and then during that week the top team will move on. In some cases the top 2 teams move on. I think it's probably just the top team moving on, and then it kind of goes like that until you get to the final week where then they rank everything out. Now, this definitely is not filling up as fast as the football Millie Maker, because that, let's just face it, was addictive. Like, at a certain point in time, you just wanted to have a couple entries in there, have some different players. But this is definitely a much slower pace. Like, we've been waiting now for almost like 8 minutes to get 7 people. But once we get this last person in, it's going to kick right up, and we'll be able to start actually talking the nuts and bolts and breaking down some point values. I mean, I think if we look on the top, I wish I can change it from their projections to what they scored last year, because I think that would be a more accurate reflection of the scoring settings. Their projections can always be so off each year, and I hate to go basing things off, especially in a points league, to base things off their projections initially. If this is your first time playing on a certain format, I like to look at last year's stats and just look at what that production is relative to the points that they scored. So this way you can get a little bit more familiar with how your scoring settings look and how everything looks with the particular players. Now, we landed right in the middle of the draft. That's a pretty ugly spot at 6. Okay. I mean, I see that they show that he had 2,100 points last year as a infielder, but then let's compare it to the pitchers. So Strider had 13, Cole had 13, and Gossman had 12. What that means to me is that there's no way that I can't go hitting. Like, you have to go hitting. When you look at the disparity in the points that you're putting up here, the upside is with the hitters. Now, let's face it, Acuna is a very rare player, but I believe that a Juan Soto in this Yankees lineup, playing with that short porch, having Judge behind him, having more than likely a DJ LeMahieu who's going to be getting on base in front of him, or you maybe can move someone there to be getting on base. I think that Soto is set up for a monster year. Judge, with his injuries, I do worry about him a little bit, especially in a best ball format. I'm not sure how I feel about pulling the trigger on that. Although, when he's right, he's a monster. That foot injury does have me a little worried. And as we see here, I'm a tried and true Yankee fan, but I'm just not 100% on Judge. And Judge, Judge is still there. Judge went 2-3. Mookie Betts had 17. Tatis 13 on a depressed season. Julio Rodriguez last year had 1,600. Corbin Carroll, I just don't know how much I could buy into that second year. I think that this is an obvious play. If Mookie Betts falls down, I'm taking Mookie Betts. It's weird, though, that he has outfield positionality when he's going to be playing shortstop. But let me just see one other thing. Yeah, let's just take Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts is just a tried, true, future Hall of Famer. That's what he is. Wow. So position 6. So how many players are we going to end up picking? So this is going to be interesting. I have no clue how many players we're going to pick. This is all going to be an experiment for me. I'm a bit miffed right now. What the hell is this going to work out to be? Like, this is going to be an experiment for everybody. So Tatis went next, and it's Yordan Alvarez. In this case, I was gonna say I like Tucker. It's kind of hard to though argue against that whole Dodgers lineup. They're so stacked that you just want to get pieces of it, as you know it's going to be a very consistent and potent offense with multiple players being able to provide a punch, which is good for your RBIs and runs. This is a team where you probably expect it to be probably one of the highest scoring teams in the league, so you'd want to get as many pieces as you can. Now, in this kind of a scenario, it's not. I don't need to have like a first baseman, second baseman, shortstop, or any of these other positions apparently. So there's a lot less value, I feel like, to maybe some of the. Well, I mean, I think maybe then it values the outfielder a little bit more, knowing that you have to have two outfielders, and the outfield it kind of wanes off as you go deeper into the outfield, and there's some position players that you can get a little bit later that have a little bit more value, as you tend to find some of the more guys with power and speed combinations there than necessarily the corner outfields. Usually your center field is usually your more speedy guy. Usually we got our power bats in the corner outfields, but obviously it depends on your team construction in real life, not in fantasy. But this is it. Wow, Garcia from Texas right there. Are you serious? Can we get some stats here? See, these are some of the things that I don't. Oh, okay. These are some of the things I don't like. I don't want to touch Devers in this situation. Jose Ramirez is always consistently good. Riley, I just love Riley. Honestly, though, I just love Austin Riley, and Austin Riley is on another one of the best offenses in the league in Atlanta. He's consistently put up big numbers. I think that he still hasn't even hit his full potential. He's pretty much near it, but I still think that he has top side. I mean, this guy is has the potential to be one of the best players in the game. So I think that's pretty cool. So you get two infielders and two outfielders. Is that how it works? It says pick position 6, but I haven't no clue. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of picks here, but who starts and how? Like, can someone fill me in here? Please let me know in the comments if you happen to know. Because I am truly just at a loss, but we'll find out. Now, Garrett Cole is a very interesting player, as we just got back news regarding his elbow. And it sounds like, it's going to be at least 1 to 2 months, but he's going to go see the surgeon in person, which to me is a red flag. And with the way the Yankees have been reporting injuries and everything of the sort, I think that all of it is a bit of a red flag. I'm kind of staying away from Garrett Cole, unless I'm probably getting him maybe in like the 70s, 80s would be something where I'd consider the risk. But he could really be out for the year. And I feel like it's more like trending to being out for the year. So you'd have to really be taking him knowing that that's going to be a wasted pick more than likely. And I think that's hard to do at a certain, so early in your draft. There's a certain point I feel like where his upside could be worth it. But we know traditionally there's a lot of young starting pitchers in their second, third year that you really want to target that have finally made some changes that really can capitalize. Now, Corbin Burns has had some down years. I'm not Yanobu Seager at 13. My God, Simeon. I mean, I like that offense too. Simeon over his last 2 years beat who'd I get? Oh my fucking god, it gave me Garrett Cole. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Well, I just wasted $10, everyone. Look at that fucking shit. Holy Christ. I don't mean to be cursing like that. I'm sorry, everyone. Oh man. That happened. Ah. God damn it. Oh, this team was going so good, guys. Garrett Cole better come back. Oh my god. Now I have some juice in this Garrett Cole coming back. Oh my god. I'm going nuts. I can't believe this. Oh my god. That's the thing with live streaming, man. Life comes at you fast. Oh. I mean, maybe he comes back, right? You know? Top pitcher? You know? This could be a blessing in disguise. You know, everything I said about Cole, you know, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe. Oh my god, and look at what's available now. Bo Bichette, Springer, Bregman, Altuve, Dela Cruz, Gossman, Wheeler. Wow, Wheeler's down, man. Pitcher's down. Yeah. I think we take Bo Bichette in hopes of a bounce back year at this point. Just based on that. What is available? I don't really love the... Oh, I love Royce Lewis, but I just feel it's so early to get him right here. Oh, shoot. Nick Castellanos, huh? I would rather take you than get screwed again. Let's go. All right. So, definitely comes at you fast. Definitely not not loving my team because of this Garrett Cole pick. But at the same point in time, I can't let that screw up the rest of the draft. I gotta kind of make up for it somewhere. Castellanos, maybe I took him a little bit high, but I don't love these pitchers right here. I'm hoping to peg some late round starters. That's gonna be how I'm gonna have to win, and I'm gonna want to take some of these more solid bats just to level out the team and get as many points as I can. Just because I don't have as much wiggle room with that pick not being quite what I wanted it to be. You know, but if Garrett Cole comes back and is right, you know, it's the best, or if not one of the best pitchers in baseball, but hard to justify taking him at this pick. Like I said, I would take him around the 70s or 80s, so it's about 50 picks higher than I would have wanted. So we got 1, 2, 3 picks till me. Nimmo just went off the board. Springer is interesting. Huh. Teoscar went off the board. Obviously, you want to get as many pieces of that team as you can. Chaz. Oh, my God. Jesus. Santander. But they just have so many young guys that I just don't know. Evan Carter, homers twice. Okay, Seiya Suzuki. Here are a lot of good things. It's first spring home run. Royce Lewis. I'm gonna take George Springer. Oops, fuck it. All right, we got some power in the outfield. We might need more infield. I don't really know how these positions break out, so it's going to be interesting to see how this ends up shaking down. I'm going to need probably a couple more infielders. That's definitely for sure. And the next one that I really want to target right here is Royce Lewis. I want him on my team. Like, that is a guy that I want. Luzardo, what's up with him? Focus on efficiency. Yep, I like me some Luzardo. Grayson, I like Jordan Walker in a bounce back year. I like Grayson. Riley Green, I think, has upside. Cassis, I think, has solid power. Torkelson, huh? I'm just not 100% sold on you. All right. What else we got? Kentel Marte. Cedric Mullins. Ah, my God. All you hear is so much about Wyatt Langford. Nolan Arenado. I like that guy. DJ Abrams. I can do that. Same thing with Glaber. I can see Glaber having a bounce back. Looks like infield is panning out like I had said before. Bobby Miller is a guy that I definitely would take a pass on. Rondon. I mean, listen. At this point, might as well take all the injury-prone Yankees with the upside on this team and say, well, fuck it. I'm a Musgrave fan. Shane Biebs. Eloy's always got it. All right, we're up in a couple picks here. Royce Lewis is still there. That's a number one prospect or number one guy I'm looking at. Give me Royce. Give me Royce. Give me Royce. Give me Royce. How many picks? Two more. One more pick. One more pick. Give me Royce. Give me Royce. Come on. Excuse me. Excuse me, everyone. Oh, perfect. Boop, boop. Boom. Feeling good. Feeling great. Yo, if Cole could come back, this team would be so dirty. Like, just come back after a month, Cole. Oh, my God. Let this be nothing. Let this be nothing, please. Oh, my God. This team is going to be dirty. I think Royce Lewis is going to blow up. I loved Royce Lewis last year. He's a guy that I'm targeting hard in all of my upcoming drafts. I want Royce Lewis. 100%. 100%. 100%. Now, I think this is where the draft is going to get very interesting, as we have a lot of young guys and we have a lot of veterans. And the question is going to be, are you going to bank on the young potential to come up and break out, or are you going to bank on those veterans to provide that stable, consistent force in your lineup that these young guys won't be able to be because they haven't yet figured out how to get the game going, how to deliver the goods? So I think this is going to be very interesting. Jazz McCormick. Interested. Spencer Steer. Another start in left field, huh? Willie Adames. Interesting. Now, showing strikeout trouble. Logan Gilbert. Where'd Logan Gilbert? 10-10. Grayson 649 after that. Oh, of course, Grayson, you go right there. Seiya Suzuki. I mean, if Suzuki is still there on the comeback, I think I'd be willing to make that play. Cody Bellinger isn't bad either. If I need an infield. One more day. I just can't get over Torkelson did that last. Torkelson had 31 home runs last year. That's crazy. I'm going with Kentel. I just like the guy. He was good for me last year. That's a good Diamondbacks lineup. I think at this point in the draft, I think he's a solid value. I like some of these veteran hitters sometimes over these rookie guys. It's like hit or miss. I wasn't going pitching here because I do feel like there's enough pitchers on the board by the time it comes back around that I'll be able to get enough value on the comeback. I'm pretty good in outfield, so I don't need to push for Green or Walker. So that's kind of why I wanted to make the move with Marte there. I think on the comeback around, I'm into Glaber in a contract year. I think Glaber in a contract year is fucking hitting in the fucking middle of the lineup. Fucking sign me up at this point in the draft. Like, the RBI opportunities are going to be there. The run opportunities are going to be there. The home run opportunities are going to be there. He's in a contract year. I know what people are saying, that the guy isn't the best defensively and that sometimes he isn't all there when the game's going on. But you know what? My man can hit. And like John Sterling says, it's Glaber Day. So please let me get some Glaber Torres. Please. All right, we got 4 more picks. FOMO. 2 minutes max. We're going to find out. But if we don't get Glaber, I think then the pivot might be to a guy like Nolan Arenado, who, I think could have a bounce back season on this Cardinals team, which could be a potentially potent offense. I think it really comes down to what's on the board for me. I mean, I am not going to really be big into Yandy Diaz just because I am a Yankee fan and I'd rather go with Nolan Arenado than a Yandy. I like Jordan Walker, and I do think he has post-hype sleeper buzz to him. But in this situation, I would defer to a Nolan. Okay, we made it. We got him. We got our guy. Lock it in, baby. Lock it in, lock it in, lock it in, lock it in. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, we did that. You know what? For that one, I just got... Yeah, I feel that. Can you guys hear the music? Let me know if y'all can hear the music. I'm liking this whole thing that StreamYard has gotten into. I got a couple more options here that I didn't used to have that I'm liking. It's nice. It's a vibe. Okay, I can't wait to see it back and see what it looks like. Like I said, this is my first time back in the sack in a long time. Things are going to be a lot different this time. You're going to see content that I'm going to pre-record. I'm going to try to do more of some of the old things that I used to do, just maybe in a new, fresher way, using some of the new tools that we have available. I'm going to try to be a little bit... no, I'm not going to try. I will be a lot more consistent, coming live, coming direct. I'm going back across multiple platforms. I'm YouTube, I'm Instagram, I'm Facebook, but I'm going to get on my TikTok. Even though they're about to ban it, I'm still going to hop on the tickety talk. It's a new wave. I'm feeling the vibes. It's going to be an interesting baseball season. I'm going to be digging in on Yankees content. Knicks are getting ready for a postseason run. We're definitely going to be chopping it up for the fantasy basketball playoff season. I know that we're kicking off now. I know that the guys need some help, some pickups. So we're going to really gear it up as we get into championship week. Probably do like quick overviews. That means we're also heading into real life playoffs, which is then going to give us time to talk real basketball, which is some of my absolute favorite stuff. We got NFL draft coming up, and we have my pick coming up in 2 picks. And I think in 2 picks, this is the perfect spot for Bobby Miller. Love that upside. Love that team. Love his pedigree. Let's do it. Now, I think that the next player that I'm probably going to need to start, or position I'm going to start having to target, is some starting pitching to balance out, especially not having Cole. It's going to be a lot to depend on some of these guys, all these late guys. But the way this team is set up, I do think that I have enough solid bats that I should be able to produce solid numbers throughout the week. And now I need to hit on a bunch of these pitchers where obviously we know there's a lot of fluctuation in pitchers. You're going to get a lot of duds, but you're also going to get a lot of young guys, I feel like, or just guys in general that turn it around, or underappreciated pitchers. So I do think that, late pitcher, again, there's 5 starting pitchers usually per team, and there's 30 teams. When you look at that versus some of the other positions like shortstop and second base, infield in general, there's a lot less. So when you look at that from a drafting perspective, that's why in most cases I feel like you're able to wait on pitching. Now, obviously, there's a huge drop off in the quality of pitcher that you get from your 1 to your 5. But with that quantity, you can then obviously mix and match for spot starts. Or what you can do is you can, try and find those diamond and roughs, those guys that are coming up, those young guys that are finally getting opportunity, that are underpriced and undervalued, and then be able to really take advantage of them. That's going to be what we're going to try to do here. And Yuri Perez is someone that I'm interested in. Same thing with Musgrave. Musgrave was just a consistent workhorse, I feel like, although last year. Yuri Perez. Now, was he hurt last year, Musgrave? Is that what happened? Chris Sale. Oh, there goes Chris Sale. Oh, Jackson Holiday. That's a kid I'm interested in as well. Bieber, no restrictions this spring. Yuri Perez. Walks. His walks are always a concern for me. Pitchers that do a lot of walks, I am not big real fans of usually. I mean, he only had 97 innings. Man, I didn't realize I was on the clock. It was about to be 4 seconds. I was going to get passed up. Thank God I saw that at the quick second. Musgrave makes sense there. We're getting some of these stabilizing pitchers, these guys, that hopefully should deliver consistent quality innings that, maybe didn't get a chance to pitch next year. I mean, Sonny Gray is just like a continuous workhorse for me. At this value, again, I think that he would be someone that's very interesting. Very interesting. Christian Javier trims down 15 pounds. I like his stuff. I like his ability. He only had 162 innings last year. That seems a bit low. I know he wasn't as good as he was the other years, which he was even having no numbers. I'm just a believer in that guy. I think Stanton's an interesting player. Part of knocked around Sunday. Now, I wish that we can get a little bit more of a player profile. But what I'm going to try to do is do more mock drafts where I can actually do some quick player profiles. So this way we can go over some of these guys as we get into draft days, as I know that's coming up very soon. I think with the way these teams are set up, I can take that Jackson Holiday shot and feel pretty good. I mean, Spencer Steer's also here. Ooh, is interesting. But I mean, I think, Jackson Holiday has rookie of the year. He is huge upside. Hunter Brown. Working on a traditional sider. Hunter Brown, I think if I remember correctly, has 100-mile-an-hour fastball. All right, we're gonna do it. I mean, maybe I'm not remembering Hunter Brown correctly. I know I maybe wanted to go Jackson Holiday there, but I have 4 infielders. I think that Volpe is not shown his full potential yet. He's still there. I know Jackson Holiday is great, but I don't know how that playing time is going to break down at that situation over there. It's not all cut and dry. I just Bryce Miller, best spring outing Tuesday. 4 hits and 2 walks. Struck out 6. I like. See, that's the kind of stuff when I'm looking at pitchers, especially in fantasy baseball. Young guys are adding new pitches and new repertoires, or a new repertoire. That's like a boost. That's like, especially like when you have a guy that's like a 2-pitch pitcher that adds his 3rd pitch. Now all of a sudden he has something extra that he can use when he's going through particularly the 3rd time through the order, or when he's going through a challenging sequence through hitters, and he can get something to throw them off because they have that variation of speeds and that variation of movement on their pitches. That's the kind of stuff that I really gravitate to and I really like when I'm looking for starting pitchers in these late rounds that can fill the role that I really need of being able to exceed your ADP, and that you're probably down here for one reason or another. ADP, truthfully, is just like they say, average draft position, but in most cases, people don't look beyond the numbers or see some of the other things or the other possibilities that are around. And like another guy, like I said, I love Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray's a guy that I consistently have had on teams, and he's been consistent. But Michael King, Christian Javier, I think all 3 of these guys, really can be solid. Boom, there goes Sonny Gray off the board, making our life easy. I don't know too much about Tanner Bibby. Maybe I'm a little bit off on that, but I don't know too much about him. I think that here I'm gonna go at Michael King, just because I know how dirty he is. Now he's gonna really get his opportunity over there as a Yankee guy. I like that play. And then when we come back, I think between Christian Javier or Volpe, that's probably gonna make the most for me to come back to. Like, I'm going to load up on some of these Yankees in these late rounds because I do think that they're going to provide some value. Now, I don't know about Verdugo as much as I do like Stanton, as I see that his flexibility and his ability to get some hits and his contract are going to keep him in this lineup and give him an opportunity to, play on a consistent basis. So, he's definitely the guy late in drafts, especially with him having outfield eligibility, that I definitely do like. We got 8 picks away. Now, what does this thing look like? Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, we got roughly 8 picks left in this draft. Okay. Let's run down the team real quick. So we did Mookie Betts, Austin Riley, Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole was a total accident. I was totally flubbed on that one. And I probably was going to take Marcus Semien. That was the guy that I was really looking at, and I was about to pull the trigger on and missed. After that, we went Castellanos and Springer. Then we went Lewis, Marte, and Torres. So, I mean, truthfully, we went all hitters until we got into the 100s. Then we took pitchers. Only Miller, Musgrave, Brown, King, taking some of these young guys with upside, older guys that have that traditional value. Michael King is kind of a wild card going from, a relief pitcher to a starter. So I think that kind of depreciates his value as far as what people expect from him. And then also kind of puts an innings limit on him, which is another reason why his value isn't quite as high as it possibly could be. So as far as pitching goes, I'm kind of happy right here. I really do want to pull this Volpe trigger, as I do think he has the opportunity to be a better player than he was last year. He does have speed. He does have some power. He does have the ability to get a walk. I think that he is just getting comfortable. I think today we saw a couple of hits. He's a player that he has all the tools that you would want in a fantasy star. When you look at 24 stolen bases and 21 home runs, his biggest issue is that he didn't, 1, walk enough for my liking, and 2, get enough hits. But I'm expecting that to increase in the second year, and I'm taking another Yankee here. So I got the Yankees infield here with Torres and Volpe. And I'm very happy, and I have the Yankees, number 1 DL player, Garrett Cole. What can I say? You know what I mean? I like to live on the wild side. Now, interesting things that we have to look at next are we still probably need a couple more starting pitchers. Probably now want to go back into the outfield. Like I said, I'm not opposed to dipping into this Giancarlo Stanton well. I love his power at this price. We're getting it for a discount. Normally, you pay a premium for this kind of stuff. The good thing about him is that he's going to have RBI and run opportunities. I believe that the back half of this Yankees lineup is not going to be as incompetent as it was last year. When you look at guys like Wells, when you look at guys like Volpe, they should provide more punch than we had last year. I think Louis didn't have the best year. You had Iggy, who kind of had a down year. As you saw, he was gone from the team after last season, and Wells was just getting used to the role. So I think that there's a lot of opportunity here. The thing that I don't like here about Stanton, when you look at it, is he doesn't have any of those stolen bases, and those walks really were down, but he didn't play. I mean, how much? I mean, damn, those walks were down. What? Maybe I'm backing off Stanton just a little bit in this points league. Maybe just a little bit. Let's see what else we have here. We have a couple more picks to us. Scott. I mean, this was a traditional top prospect, Bryson Scott. Let me just see something. Because I have no problem taking him here, but how many infielders do we have? We have 5 infielders. So honestly, I'd like to take an outfielder. Lars Newbar. Diagnosed with fractured ribs. Yeah. Not really feeling that. JD Martinez talking to the Mets. A certified spot, do you? All right. Well, we're going to put my money where my mouth is. Bounce back year, Stanton. Let's see it. Sterling Marte. Heard he was hurt. Henry Davis. Didn't he? I thought he was a catcher. Why is he? I mean, I guess he has catcher and outfield eligibility. I have to go back and look at that. That'll be interesting. Damn, outfield fucking cleared up fast. Maybe I'm a little off on outfield because holy shit, what the hell? Home runs in his finale, Brett Rooker. And I'll tell you that the info that these people have on this is like not the most helpful. You would think, you would hope that maybe we can get some stats from this year or last year or X, Y, and Z, but the numbers are pretty limited. Now, I mean, I get some this year and last year's like basic stats, but I would like the whole thing, not just like the back of the ball card. Like maybe like right here. I mean, you got the Q. I don't know, man. Or maybe we can sub this, like maybe I can have an option where the portion of where the Q is, I can switch to something else where I can get just some more stats, or maybe you create a separate bar there. But I would like some more information and stats. With all the information on the internet and your ability to use API keys, I would hope you'd be able to pull something together to make my life easy. That would be really great. That'd be fun. But I digress. We're at pick 15. We have a couple more picks to us. I'm needing outfield probably in pitching. I'm not even sure what breakdowns I should have. Walker Buehler, when he should be back, may appear in spring games. I guess Rodon is gone, right? Verlander, up story intensity. Not opposed to Verlander. I'm not opposed to Verlander. Gavin Williams can begin throwing. Radish throws bullpen session. I mean, at this point in the draft, what do we got to lose? Let's ride it one more time, baby boy. Let's go, Justin. We want to get consistency, especially since we can't edit the team. We know that we don't have Garrett Cole. The odds that, Verlander is going to be somewhat solid is pretty good. I think then, Bryce Miller, who we were talking about before, with the increase in his repertoire, becomes the logical, probably next pick to make sure that we have solid starting pitchings on this team. Again, I don't know how breakdowns go, but I don't know if Garrett Cole's going to be there, so I'd rather have a couple extra starting pitchers than not, just because of that that mistake that we made a little bit earlier on, to compensate for it, which is never good, but you got to do what you got to do. I mean, I guess this is bad to look at because you never know who's drafting what where, so we'll just kind of leave it like that for now. Let's run down some of the other teams and see what they're doing. First pick ended up with Acuna, Devers, Alonso, Gossman, Goldschmidt, Walker, Soler, Senga, Diaz, Bieber, Jimenez, Ward, Imanaga, Nootbaar, Jimenez. Looks like another hitter-heavy lineup. Then we get, let's look at this. There's one hitter in the first round. One pitcher in the first round. No pitchers in the second round. Two pitchers in the third round. But again, I did not want to take Garrett Cole there. That was an auto draft. Okay. Then we have fourth round where the pitchers start to fly, and then fifth round where the pitchers start to fly. If you look at starting pitchers as a whole, man, I remember Wheeler used to be, going as like 10 and 15, and Pablo Lopez was the guy that I was picking up off the waiver wire a couple of years ago. So starting pitcher as a whole doesn't seem that strong, to be honest, guys. Almost feels like it's a lot better just to bank on some of these later pitchers where you're not spending as much capital, and hopefully you can get these position players that are going to play every day and hopefully can provide more of a bang for your buck. But my God, it's going to be an interesting situation to see what we do here. I don't really. Miller's gone, so that sucks. Gorman has shown flashes of being a freaking beast. Rizzy too. Bohm making grapefruit debut. Oh shit! I got auto pick for the second time with Bradish. Isn't he hurt? Fucking Kyle Bradish is hurt, right? God damn it! Sorry, man. This 30-second clock kind of kills me. Plus, I'm not going to lie to you guys. This is my first baseball draft of the year. Just getting reacclimated, just getting to see the players. This format is not kind of what I thought it would be. This is not going to be good draft prep. This is not like a mock draft. This is not like what I thought it was. But I will say this. It's interesting. I'll probably do one more of these before the season starts, just to, see what happens. Hopefully I don't have to take Garrett Cole again and kind of let this bad boy ride. I think I'm going to do a couple of public leagues just to get the kind of ball rolling again. I haven't really done baseball in a while, and I hate baseball because it's so long. But the drafts I feel like are good for prep, and then I'm hoping that with that optimized lineup button and with me streaming, it's gonna make it less boring, because we're making content now. Now I'm not just playing fantasy baseball, I'm making content. So, it's a new game. It's a new day. We're gonna make it happen. I'm gonna get some stuff here to pop on the stream and a whole bunch of other stuff, and this is just a tip, like this. Yeah. I did that shit like 4 years ago. was embarrassing, but it gets the job done. All right, so now I guess we'll take the guy that we're talking about. Oh, he was already selected by me. What the hell does that mean? Okay. How many more picks left? 3 more picks. Jesus Christ, this is a long draft. All right. I have 6 infielders, 4 outfielders. I guess outfield is something that I definitely should be looking at. Kauser, front runner, or land roster spot. But now, are you landing a roster spot? Or are you going to actually play? How is that going to work? I kept hearing this kid's name a lot. He is apparently big time. I almost think that it's a value pick here from Marte this late. Impressing so far, Parker Meadows. Do I have enough time to look up Parker Meadows? Let's take a look here. All right. Parker Meadows. Who is Parker Meadows? No. Let's take a look here. Walker Meadows. I have 3 picks until me. Watch. Oh, athletic. Walker Meadows has feasted early spring, yada. Trent McKenzie series, another case hasn't much accomplished anything. Kind of massive profit, Frelick. Okay, so we're looking at Jose Siri and what's his face? All right, what do we got here? Get out of my way. Oh. Okay. All right, fuck it. Let's go with the young guy because, shit, this team is like 2 auto-drafted hurt pitchers, so we might as well take some shots at some hitters. And I think I'm going to shoot a shot at Marte next, too. Might as well get a table setter. Although Henry Davis, I'm just interested because I know that I played MLB The Show a lot, and Henry Davis was one of those guys that they had in those special cards for the Pirates. It's like those up-and-coming prospects. So let's see. Henry Davis. They're saying good things about him. All right, screw it. Let's do it. Henry Davis. Pack it up, pack it in. He's our guy. The fact that he's having a good spring, and I saw that he has catcher and outfield eligibility. Holy shit, talk about the ultimate bench guy. But that depends on who you're getting at catcher. Like, who else could you really get at catcher that would be worth justifying a roster spot on and not using it for someone else and just saying, hey, whatever days he plays, I'm just going to play him all at catcher and just let it happen. That's an interesting question. But I think maybe positionally, I'm going to need to go through the players. I'm going to do some interesting stuff. I'm going to do my draft prep live this year. I feel like it's just the easiest way for me to create content. I have fantasy baseball drafts in maybe about a week or so. So, getting up until then, I'll get ready. Prep prepping for a test. And then obviously we know the fantasy football draft coverage is going to kick back up with the NFL draft happening. You always can catch me on Friday night on Run Boys after dark. Henry Davis looks like he fell right there where we wanted him to. I had him queued up this time, so I wasn't going to auto draft like some of these other times. But so far I think that's probably the next videos or the video type style that I'll do next. I'm not sure if I'll do it live or if maybe I'll do it as a pre-recorded video and then debut it live. I'm not sure how you guys prefer it or how it's easier for me. It really all depends. For me, I am very flexible, but at the same point in time, if there's not that many comments going on, it might be easier for me to just pop them out. In another format, and then just do like a end of the thing live. It looks like maybe the screen is lagging a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see what it looks like in a playback. Again, this is my first time streaming in God knows how long, as far as me hosting it. I've been on other platforms and other shows, and I should have been on here debuting it and talking about it to my audience, as you guys have been great in supporting me, but I kind of became a recluse, and for that I apologize. That you'll not see again. You're going to see me back in the saddle, doing the thing, spitting the game, shaking hands and kissing babies, because that's what we do, you know what I mean? But I'm loving the whole ability to have some songs and tunes in my stream. I want to hear and see if that came through as I'm talking. It's super cool. I feel like some of the advancements and the things that they're doing for creators, it's definitely I feel like a new day. I'm just really excited to see who we end up with next. We have 3 picks. We got 3 picks, and we have 776. How many more players left for this team? 1 left player for this team. 1 player left for this team. Gavin Williams. Oh, Nolan Gorman. This is no brainer. I mean, this guy has all day upside. All day. Oh, Jose Abreu? What the fuck? How many games did he play last year? 86 Eagles. Did Jose Abreu get hurt last year? Jose Abreu had to have gotten hurt last year, right? Nolan, as much as I like you, Jose Abreu, let's fucking go. Let's just call it a day. 776. I mean, we're stacked in the infield. But outfield, we probably spend our biggest draft capital, so it makes sense that I would take a couple of more, outfields. Although when you kind of balance it out, it's fairly even. There's a lot of capital spent on the infield as well. 6 more picks. This thing's a close out. We'll see how this thing looks and get it up, get it out, get it in. I mean, that's pretty solid time when you think about it. It took about 8 minutes for the room. Well, from me coming in to going into that, it took about 8 minutes. We're sitting about like 50 minutes now live on the stream. So it took about 50 minutes to get this draft done. Team, I think, fucking is annoying. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. Talk like this thing is something that I love. That Garrett Cole pick really stubbed me. Then that pick for Bradish, not saying bad, good, or indifferent, just not what I would have picked. So yeah, we'll see how this team goes. It was an interesting way to spend $10. The fact that they just kicked us out like that, kind of okay. I guess we can run through a couple of the other teams and just see who you like the best. Oh man, what is this? Yeah, this is the shit that bothers me. There's nothing after the draft, and they're trying to pop back in. It's annoying. I mean, it could probably be because it closed. So the draft just closed, but not what I would have hoped for. You know. Well, I mean, at least we can see my team. I mean, we can see some of the other teams. I'm projected at 20, 22, 21, 20, 21. I mean, 4, 7, 7. But I mean, what does that even mean? Because what if you have more hitters and hitters score more? And how many of them you have? And how does that work? So many questions. We're going to see. We'll find out. We'll get more of a real breakdown of this. I'll show you guys how my team stack out and what this looks like during the year. I'm pretty transparent. If I ain't gonna win, at least y'all see. If I'm winning, I'm bragging. So might as well show you if I lose too, right? So it's 16 weeks, 17, at least 2 weeks for some of those. Win, quality start. Yeah, strike out. Pitchers get a lot. Triples are 8. Sheesh. Home run hitters eat in this league. Hit by pitch and walk. I mean, this is a league where you got to get on base. Period, point blank. Guys that don't get base don't get fed. That's how it goes. All right, everyone. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming out here with me, having a little bit of fun. We're going to do this a lot more often. I'm going to work on getting, the whole aesthetic right. This was done last minute. I needed to pop on and just kind of get get back on the horse, as they say. But as I leave you with this.
Hey, David and Taco, they bring the heat. All about UFC, way more than a fantasy. Let's see who going toe to toe. Throw down on the mat, check the replay, run it back. We gotta check the stats. Hey, do this every day. We ain't come to play. This is sports talk, and we love talking MMA. Everything fantasy sports. Dopest show that I know. With Electric Dave and talented Mr.